Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Today's going to be quick. I'm just going to cover this TikTok because I think it touches on a lot of different things. So we're going to kind of run through it pretty fast. I'm going to just play it and then you guys can listen to the whole thing. There's a comment on the screen. It says, "Have you ever seen a fat 90-year-old? Me neither." So let's get into it. I'm going to let him say his whole piece and then we're going to respond to it point by point.
It's okay to be fat. Hello, it's me, Matthew and Shell, your TikTok gay best friend. And I've made a bunch of videos where I say it's okay to be fat. And the kind of comments that I get on these videos, like, wow, this person has so much hatred towards fat people. Like, if you're not a fat person and these videos don't apply to you, why do you care? These videos are not for you. Literally any person who ever tells a fat person that, oh my gosh, but did you know that like being fat is bad for your health? They think they deserve like a Nobel Prize or something. This is the kind of stuff we've been hearing since we were like, I don't know, I started hearing this stuff when I was like 4. Ever since I can remember, I was hearing about how I was fat and it was bad. Maybe I won't live to be 90 because I'm not crash dieting and going on Ozempic and doing like keto and stuff, but I would rather be happy and love myself in my fat body while I'm here and not torturing myself.
Okay, so let's go ahead and break it down piece by piece. Oh, man.
It's okay to be fat.
Okay, so when people say it's okay to be fat, what are they trying to say? You know, I think they're arguing that it's okay to be fat forever. It's okay to just stay that way for your entire life. To which I would say, I guess legally, yes, but in terms of like your quality of life and all that stuff, I don't think it's okay. Again, for those of you guys who do not understand, this is not a fat acceptance channel. I do not accept it. I am currently losing weight. It is what it is, okay? I don't believe in fat acceptance. That means I don't think it's okay to be fat, firstly. So let's continue.
Hello, it's me, Matthew and Shell, your TikTok gay best friend. And I've made a bunch of videos where I say it's okay to be fat. And the kind of comments that I get on these videos, like, wow, this person has so much hatred towards fat people.
So pointing out a health issue or health consequence or anything involving the potential consequences of being morbidly obese, super morbidly obese, anything like that, that means that you hate fat people. So to me, I would take it more as like you would hate fat people if you encourage them to stay that way, or you encourage them to gain more weight, or you encourage them to think it's okay. You know, just because something is not okay doesn't mean that you have to hate yourself or whatever. On this channel, we say the talking point over and over again that fatness is not who you are. It is not a part of your identity. It is ridiculous to identify with your obesity. And that's what these people advocate for you to do. They often have a mindset that being fat is like being in a political minority or something. That's what they push it as. And it's not real. Fat people are not a community. Fat people have different views on everything, including this, including fatness itself. I'm still a fat person and I disagree with this other fat person. So clearly there's no community here. So don't identify with it. When I say it's not okay to be fat, I'm not saying it's not okay to be you. I'm saying it's not okay to be fat. They're two different things, okay?
Like, if you're not a fat person and these videos don't apply to you, why do you care? These videos.
So people are allowed to care about the general health of the public and about other people in general. I think that this is somewhat of a cop-out when you are calling out criticism. I know it's an easy one to do. I sometimes feel like saying it when I have some haters on this channel, but at the same time, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I'm not going to say it's not for you or it's not this or it's not that. I'm just going to say I'm not necessarily going to change what I'm saying the style of what I say, anything, because you commented that. That doesn't mean that anything is going to change here because you commented. And I think that that's an understanding that I would like to push in terms of this space. Is just because you comment something doesn't mean it will change. I don't care if it upsets you. I don't care if it upsets you that I'm losing weight publicly to disprove fat acceptance narratives. I don't care if it upsets you that I'm losing more and more weight, proving you further and further wrong. I don't care. I'm not going to say that this is not for you. I'm going to say maybe it is exactly for you. Maybe you should be seeing this so you can see how wrong these people are. But what I am going to say is, I don't care if you're here, but it won't change. That's what I'm going to say. But I understand him saying that because you get frustrated sometimes because he's probably getting a lot of comments like this, which is good because he deserves pushback.
Are not for you. Literally any person who ever tells a fat person that, oh my gosh, but did you know that like being fat is bad for your health? They think they deserve like a Nobel Prize or something. This is the kind.
It's not about that. It's just about a little bit of a reality check. I think people tend to do that occasionally. You know, being morbidly obese, super morbidly obese, it's something that you wear, quite frankly, on your sleeve. It's something that's very obvious to people. It's not like other issues that are not necessarily as obvious. But if they were, people would say the same thing about things like alcoholism, for example. People can't always tell all the time that somebody is one. An alcoholic, I mean. It just doesn't show up in the same way. So, but if it did, people would say something because people just tend to think that. You know, they think it, they say it. A lot of people don't censor every single thought that comes into their mind because they're not constantly curating and constructing a narrative and an identity that's not real, basically. They're not creating a sense of false identity like I would feel like somebody like this is. Why do I say that? Because I think from my perspective, I make the assumption that he has definitely had health consequences. He's feeling the need to call out this comment. He's feeling the need to try to apply pressure against this idea. If it was not real and there were no health consequences or anything, then I don't think that this would bother you at all. But you got to push the narrative, right? So.
Kind of stuff we've been hearing since we were like, I don't know, I started hearing this stuff when I was like 4.
It doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't matter how long you've heard it. It's still true. Being super morbidly obese, being obese at all is bad for your health. It's not good for you. It's not a good way to live. It's not a good way to be. It should change. That's it. And it doesn't matter how many times you try to justify it. You know it isn't it. I know it isn't it. Everybody else knows that it is not it. So you can try to lie to yourself, but you're not going to lie to everyone else. And people are not going to necessarily lie to your face and say, yes, it's great, it's fine that you are fat. People will not necessarily lie to you. I'm not going to.
Ever since I can remember, I was hearing about how I was fat and it was bad. Maybe I won't live to be
Doesn't matter how long you've heard it, it's still true.
90 because I'm not crash dieting and going on Ozempic and doing like...
You don't have to do either one of those things, so that's a cop-out. It's a false choice, I believe. You're trying to frame it in terms of two different extremes. It's called a slight caloric deficit with macros that your body personally needs to stay within that slight caloric deficit without feeling hungry. It's quite simple, actually. It does require a bit of effort, but it's not that big of a deal. If you're not willing to do it, or if you have mental health issues that do not allow you to do it, you need to get help. You should not just continue with that. I would not suggest anybody just continue with things like that. Things need to be addressed. You should do something if that's the case. And if you are just too lazy, then I don't know. I guess deal with what people say. You know, people don't like when people are lazy. That doesn't stop people from being lazy, but people get frustrated with it. It is a part of life. It's a reality.
Like keto and stuff, but I would rather be happy and love myself in my fat.
You can be happy and love yourself and lose weight. So I don't understand this idea that you can't have lost weight and be happy. It's not connecting. You know, for me, it's kind of a lateral move. For most of my weight loss journey, I've been pretty miserable, but I was pretty miserable when I was super morbidly obese too. So it's just kind of a lateral move. It's not any different. But, you know, what would he say to me if I said, I can't be happy? I couldn't be happy and super morbidly obese. I couldn't. Should I feel bad that I couldn't feel happy? Are you better than me because you can feel happy at that size? I don't think so. I don't think so.
That body while I'm here and not torturing myself.
You don't have to do all that. It's not torture. So I think it's interesting. To me, I think this whole thing is kind of a big cope. But it's either that or it's like a way for him to try to like fluff up his audience a bit or be like, yeah, like this is what we're doing today kind of thing. You know, like it's like he's trying to get his momentum going again. It could be something like that. But I think it's just cope, honestly. You know, just because you have like a little mini theatrical moment, it doesn't take away the truth of what the person said. Now, I think the 90-year-old comment is a bit extra, but I would say, hey, I'd be a little concerned for you when you get towards your 50s, maybe even your late 40s. That's not great. Like, you still would have quite a lot of life left to live, but I guess you don't care about that. I'm not going to support you in not caring about that. I think that's horrible. It is what it is, though. If you don't, then you don't. But I would shave that down quite a bit, especially for a man. It hits you harder. It does. So, you know, when you get to 45 at that weight, it can be tough on the heart. It's probably already tough for him. So I'm just saying, I would not, no. Just no to all of it, basically. That's all I have to say is no. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. I will see you guys again soon. Have a good one. Bye.